Hello, Pony Pals. This is Wildland Makers again, and here we are starting up a new month of Hunt and Jump. So, Hunt and Jump, it goes on monthly cycles, and various things will be either opened or closed at various times of the month. So, we are now starting the whole thing over again. Unfortunately, fortunately, kind of like how you look at it, this means that my account has gone past another monthly rollover. That means that horses aged up, older horses died of old age, and we will see. Like, fortunately, the dying of old age, like that that is something which can start to be a factor once a horse is at least 17 years old. So many of the younger accounts don't need to worry about that so much. But once you get older, it's like once you've been there for a little bit, it's like I had quite a few horses down me. I was gonna go through the list with you guys, but I decided to count it up on my own time and found that I had over 160 horses pass away on me. Um, uh, Over rollover. That said, that the 160 was from over 800 horses that were 17 or older that could have died of old age. So it actually is pretty good odds. Like an eighth or seventh of the horses that could have died did, and all the other horses stayed with me. But as you might see here, like I think the only one that you guys would have known would be Guardian Wolf 3. He passed away. He was our black stallion that we dressed up with the lightning and the dragon and went through the story backgrounds for. It's like now I'm kind of glad that I dressed him up when I did, because he would have, like, because that was basically our last chance. Along with that, like, we lost some show bonus, lost about 17,000 of show bonus every day, but with how I'm at in this account, that's not really as concerning as seeing the horses pass away. Like, let me see. I might be able to find some horses who are just his descendants. I know I've got horses that are his descendants, actually. Let's go. Where are they? Here's a descendant of Guardian Wolf, and she's 18. She didn't pass away, so that is a good thing. And it wants to redo her page for who knows what. But yeah, that's her. Really should have named her. But yeah, Guardian Wolf. Age, it now says archived. Like he is deceased. He is owned by the archive. But he lived his entire life in my barn, and he still looks gorgeous. But yeah, he passed away. We had a lot of horses that did not pass away, so that is a very good thing. But okay, so my show bonus didn't take too much of a hit. We still had a lot of horses. We had a lot of horses pass away. We also had a lot of horses that didn't pass away, but that means now I have enough room in my barns for all the foals that will be coming in later in the month. So actually, here I am going all over the place. If we go back to member home, it'll say breeding season is now over and will start again on November the 2nd. This will be for barn breeding. Barn breeding is you have to individually breed each horse, and it's also like $1,000 of vet fees, and I think it's only $100 of vet fees if you pasture breed. So and you don't have the pasture bonus. So it's definitely a lot of impulse that you get the foal sooner, but it's a lot harder work. You don't you're less likely to get the same quality of foals you would get from the pasture, and it's also a lot more expensive. So especially when you're starting out, breeding horses in the pasture is definitely the way to go. So I'm probably going to wait till the 7th or like late in the 6th when the game thinks it's the 7th to breed my horses when the pastures open up, because pastures open up like a few days after breeding starts for barn breeding. But yeah, we're looking at the beginning of a new breeding season, which is always fun. And another thing that's fun, so we have our barns opened up. Like I did calculations with how many barns spaces I still had and roughly how many foals I'll be getting this month. I came to the conclusion that I would have to have 120 horses pass away to be able to fit all my foals in. With 160 horses passing away, I definitely have room for foals. Like I've kind of gotten to the point with my stable that I filled my barns and now I'm having roughly the same amount of horses pass away as foals brought in, which I think is kind of an ideal spot to have your stable. Like I'm definitely not a small stable, but at the same time I don't need to be growing. It's been several real life years since I've bought a barn, which is nice because that means I don't need to click as many times to show yet another barn. But if you go here, if you select a barn, it's like I don't have like a ton of room in my barns, but I have way more room than I did previously. And now, as I said, horses aged up a year. It's not just the horses who passed away. So if we go look at the previous foals who are now 2 year olds, we can now see them now all grown up. So like Daffy Ghost that I think we decided not to use as a breeding horse, but still like he's still gonna be gorgeous. Let's look and see what he looks like now. This is gonna happen for all of our foals because it has to create a brand new image for them now. And this is Daffy Ghost all grown up. Now there's a couple other colts that I'm planning on replacing other stallions this year, like once breeding's done, because they won't be able to breed until they're 3 months old. So once breeding's done for this month, I'm gonna have them replace some stallions for me. We have this guy for our hybrid pasture because he's superior to one of the stallions that I have in that pasture. We have a Pangry Plus Chestnut Boy. You look at his genes, he carries a goodie for Bay. He has none done one, Pangry Plus, and he carries Glustra Plume. We also have a new boy for our Bootstrap herd, Burden of the Phoenix. So this is going to be the first time I get to see him all grown up too. This guy is showing Gloucester Plume. That's what's going on there. And we have highlights from Satin. He's really dark because he has both sooty and DP genes. So yeah, he can't have any chestnut foals. He has both brown and regular agouti, done and non-done. He has done Factor Promoter 1, DP, Satin, Gloucester Plume. The only thing I could ask for is possibly change one of these Sooties to Sootie Plus. I'm debating that though, because he's really pretty. Like, if I do that, it'll change what he looks like. I'm trying to decide. I still have a month to do that because I have till I breed him the first time to do all the genetic modifications that I want. So, yeah, I still have time to think about that. But now, let's quickly go look at our young barn. So, you go to your barns, and the horses are so fun looking as green lions, aren't they? But if you go to this view in search, suddenly you see all the horses kind of like in a pasture view. Now I want to look at the 2-year-olds. So age equal to 2. So these are all of our, or what they all look like as foals. So these X's mean that these are bootstrap foals, which tested the equal quality to my best bootstrap mare. So that's what the X's mean. Like this one has ice, but a lot of these don't. W, this one is worse to a random gold mare, but she has Pangry Plus, so I'm keeping her to put into my bootstrap herd to try to get Pangry Plus up into bootstrap quality. Because Pangry Plus is a newer gene, but why can't we have new genes at the highest levels, right? So these ones without anything in front of their name, these are my hybrid fillies. Okay, this one is another colt. He's equal quality to the chestnut I showed you. He was also from hybrid, but these were hybrid. These are our 3rd gen mares, as you saw previously. Bouncing Elf. We have our 5th gens, 4th gens, and wow, we hadn't, oh, 1 out of 2. So let's see who's in our other page. Nobody. Okay. So let's actually go back to view and search and go back to our 2-year-olds. So I have way more second to a 2-year-old bootstrap mares than I can put into the bootstrap pasture right now. I'm gonna have to do a miracle to be able to put these guys in pasture, but here is what one of them looks like from foal to mare. And we can see what she looks like as a foal again because it takes a little while for these thumbnails to update. Sons of Burden. And then you see she got the Glusta plume. That's not something that shows up in foals. Chaos's Chocolate. Or Chaos Chocolate. Now I want to call her Chaos's Chocolate. They get a nice kind of glowing dapple look. Thylacine Chocolate. So she's a ice. So she's our fantasy filly. see. I want to say that you kind of have the idea. It's like, okay, they were little foals and now they're all turning into these mature mares. I really like this look. Okay, Pride Fall. Let's see what she looks like as a mare. So she is definitely an interesting case. Like she has a lot more white than any of the other bootstrap mares. You come look and she has both chestnut and black, so she's black base. She has an aguri, so she's bay. Two sooties, she has Pangari Plus, which you can't really show because all the places where it would show is white. She has Champagne, which is not a gene I have in my bootstrap herd, so that will kind of make things interesting. She carries Tiger Eye. She has White 20 and Sabino too, so Sabino kind of usually has like kind of feathery things going on, but because of the White 20 kind of amplifies everything, so now she is a feather. She carries Glusa Plume and KP. KP needs or kit promoter needs two kit genes. So if she had two KP genes, she would have kind of foggy areas in her colored areas, but she has so few colored areas that it probably wouldn't show anyway. And she has Ice 9, so she has a fantasy gene. But she has that Pangri Plus. This is the second gold Pangri Plus mare that I have to put into the bootstrap pasture. So I don't have many spots, but I'm going to put her in the primary pasture already so we don't lose her because she doesn't have that X that I usually look for to put mares in the primary pasture. I'll put her in so she doesn't get lost somewhere because she'll be very important for bringing uh, Pangri Plus into the bootstrap herd. Plus, a lot of my bootstrap horses have 2 copies of KP, but they have no kit genes, which means that it doesn't show. So she will add kit genes to the herd. It's like I like the look without a lot of kit genes, but at the same time, it's like primary is like since the I don't know. I don't know what to think about like the KP, but it would be kind of interesting to get a horse which shows KP again. So we have that for our bootstrap horses. Then we have our hybrid horses. Which is a herd which is being handled very similarly to my herd in a Stormy Cove that I'm like building up, but this herd is a couple months old. Like I'm just gonna barely have my first fillies from this herd age up to be breeding this month, so I'm really excited about that. Here is an Appaloosa. Appaloosas will change as they age, so they'll need a new image every single month. So if you don't like the image rollover, avoid Appaloosas. But I will say that Tobianos, they take a very long time for their images to re-roll, so I feel very sorry for the Pentaloosa breeders on here. But this is what she looks like here. If you look really hard, there's a little bit of white speckling on her back, which is kind of interesting. She does not have snowflakes. This is an example of snowflake Appaloosa, but it's still very interesting. This one is a champagne horse. Amber champagne. I want to say amber champagne is champagne on bay, but I'm uncertain. Let's look. Okay, so we have Bay and Dun champagne. My assumption is it's because of the Bay, not on the Dun, but both Bay and Dun will lighten this up. Will affect what the champagne looks like. We have this girl, Kid's Cow. Once again, because my founding stallion for the hybrid herd is based off of the name of a YouTuber's bison, I have things more relating to bison and cattle and their workmanship into the hybrid horse names. Yeah, now let's go into, let's just jump to the horses we tested together. So our third gen, Dancing Ghost. This one has Nexus, so the regenerating star map. And Nexus, like, it can look different on adults sometimes. Like, it's more spread out and it's like more subtle. It's still not subtle. Like, our horse has stars, but it's more subtle as an adult. More natural, if you can call having your horse have stars natural, but not really. Here's Rubber Shark. She has homozygous for black. Carrie's son has non-done one, which will help have darker on her back and lighter, like have this fun gradient going on. That's because of non-done one. And she has DP, like Sooty, Sooty Plus, and DP, 3 different types of darkening genes. Spring Bounce. I'm sorry, I'm sorry about the dog. Like, I promise she's cute. It's like, she's, but she will talk while we wait for these pictures to load because I don't seem to be good. So, like, these horses with white, they really seem to just come into their own once they mature. And this, like, it almost looks like a snowflake here. Like, she's not snowflake. Like, she doesn't have any S genes. No fantasy genes here. If they were fantasy genes, they would be purple or orange. Most of them are purple. But she has none of those. Boomerang. This was our salt and pepper, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was our salt and pepper. We almost have Rabicano going on with how the white just goes along the middle. Like, I don't know if that's normal. Like, that's very interesting. Okay, Speed of Star, she's Carmelo. Bouncing Elf. I'm like torn between want to hurry up this video for you guys because I don't know if you guys are bored out of your mind yet. Oh, something I forgot. Like, but I can do that later. I can put the mares into the pasture because now that they are no longer foals, they won't get sold back to the game for being in pasture. Riftwalker. See. She has GP, carries Tiger Eye 1 and Cream, so her eyes will be blue. And we have our Glusa Plume with Riftwalker. She looks so much like her mother. And let me see, I will choose you. She has Appaloosa, and Glucoplume and Ice. She's got cream and homozygous son. And yeah, has double DP, so she'll be darker. Like Appaloosa can have very interesting combinations of things. So yeah, she looks a lot lighter than she normally would be because of the Appaloosa and the ice. And the fact that she's got a Glucid point just kind of makes her look frosted. Very pretty little horse. But yeah, those are fillies that aged up. I can then go. So the ones with X's, I'm not going to move because I really can't right now. But our ones with 4s in front of their names, I can move into our 4th gen pasture. Since we did such a major miracle, I can now take our horses with 5 in front of that at the end of their name and send them to the 5th gen pasture. I may or may not be able to send the ones with 3s to the 3rd gen pasture. I might have to do a miracle in 3rd gen pasture too. Honestly, you don't have to because, okay, yeah, we don't have room in the 3rd gen pasture. So, not right now. And so I'm going to take our hybrid fillies. And put them in my hybrid pasture. So if we go to 4th gen, we'll see our new fillies right down here. 5th gen. What's left of 5th gen? We have our 2 fillies right here. And now our pasture is full again. But we have a little bit because it'll be a couple months before these fillies are ready to breed. So I can keep further 5th gen mares when I get them in the pasture until they age up to be 3 months old. Once they're 3 months old, I want them in the pasture for show bonus, but they might, or not show bonus, breeding bonus, but they might not get that. Let's see what happens. And this pasture you guys haven't really seen before. There's Dunbar. We dressed them up like a moose. These are some. These mares are some bootstrap mares that I'm putting in to try to get gold fillies with Pangry Plus to put back into the bootstrap herd. And then these are horses in for my hybrid herd. Most of these are foundations still at this level. These are my first mares from the hybrid cross to be old enough to breed. So I'm really excited about how these ones are going to do. Might have our first chance on homozygous Pangry Plus. So let me see. These are our new mares in the hybrid project. So it's really gonna see what sort of weird colors we get out of this mix because I'm not really controlling it as much by color, more of just seeing how quickly they can bring up their quality. But yeah, this is our this is rollover. We had a whole bunch of horses die. We had more horses age up. We can have new our fillies from last month can finally go into the pastures. It's so like there's a sadness, excitement, and now it's gonna be a lot of getting ready for breeding season to start for pasture breeding on the 7th, and we will start the whole cycle over because it's the circle of life. Okay, I should stop singing. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't mean to salt your eardrums today. Um, hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know anything that you like me doing, anything that you don't like me doing, anything you would like to see me doing. Hope you have a good day. Bye.